Yo, what is up guys? Underrated Major. Today I'm going to be doing a video discussing the new guild leaders. But before I get into the video, I just gotta make a special announcement. Now, as you guys know, recently I've been doing manga reviews, manga spoilers, and basically manga videos back on my main channel, Underrated Mage. But for a while I was doing them on my backup channel. Not really a backup channel, but just a second channel, a channel dedicated to manga. And yes, while I have been doing them on my main channel, I've decided I'm going to go back to the other channel. And I know some people they might be thinking, okay, why do you keep flip-flopping? Just pick one. Well, I tried it out on the other channel, Reek Neo. I'm gonna leave a link to that channel in the description down below, the manga channel. I tried it out over there. It was doing good, but for some reason I brought it back over to Underrated Mage. And me personally, there's a lot of people, listen, I know there's a lot of people who read the fairy tale manga, that they enjoy the manga content, but I've realized that over here on Underrated Mage, there's a majority of anime onlys, or just people who aren't even fully caught up to the anime. So usually when I would do manga videos, they would get spoiled, or people, they just would stop watching them to a point whereas the views, like people, they wouldn't even click on the videos because they'll be scared of getting spoiled. So I decided, for the better of this channel and for the better of that channel, I'm just gonna move all manga content over there. I won't be doing any more manga discussions or anything over here. This is going to be basically like an anime only channel, even though there is no anime. But when anime does come back, expect this is where the anime will be, like the anime content will be on this channel. And I just gotta say that if you guys want to see manga discussions on the current stuff, like stuff from 517 and just predictions and everything, go subscribe to Reek Neil, because I decided that's when I'm going to be uploading all my manga content over there. Just, it was kind of like that a couple months ago, 2 months ago, I was uploading over there. So yeah, if you guys are caught up to the manga, go subscribe to Reek Neil. Listen, if you're not caught up to the manga, do not subscribe to Reek Neil. I'll tell you that right now, because I don't want to hear people saying things about spoilers. That's the main reason why I'm switching over there. It's because I don't like spoiling people, to be honest. I don't like people getting ruined from video wise. I'd rather have you go and read the manga yourself and find out. So yeah, Reek Neil, go subscribe to that if you're a manga person. A link to that will be in the description down below. But let's get into the video now. As you guys can see from the title, I'm going to be discussing the new guild leaders. And I know some people, they might be thinking, okay, what do you mean by the new guild leaders? Well, we know in Fairy Tail the main things are guilds. That's basically like the main group of where the main characters could be found, or at least characters in general. Guilds are basically a place where wizards come together, and usually it's run by somebody. Now, we know that Fairy Tail and other top tier important guilds, they all have guild masters, but someday they gotta go, they gotta get out of here. And one of my most interesting things to speculate is actually who would be the next guild master for each guild. Now, I'm not gonna go through every single guild that was introduced in the series, number one, because like 90% of them are fodder. Let's be honest here, 90% of the guilds are fodder. And number two, there's not even like enough people to like even be named in some of those guilds. So I decided, you know what, I selected out the important ones, or at least the ones that I think are important, which, let's be honest, they're the only ones that really matter, that have like more than like 5 members that can actually be worth mentioning for who should be a new guild master. Now, we're going to start off with Crime Sorcerer. And Crime Sorcery, this one's a little bit different because this is an independent guild. Like, this guild was basically formed by just random people just gathering up together. Usually like a legal guild, they have to go through like all that, you know, the council and all that stuff. But Crime Sorcery, they just came together and made their own guild. And Crime Sorcery consists of Jalal, the Racing Saves, excluding Zero, because we know that Zero got clapped, Otier, Merity, and they don't, believe it or not, they don't even have a leader. But it's kind of obvious that if they actually do keep up the Crime Sorcery even after this arc, that Jalal will be the leader, simply because he's the one who brought them all together. He's the one who has the plans to defeat Zeref and everything. So I think it only makes sense that Jalal does become the guild leader. Now, there is a special case that I think could happen. Maybe Jalal could go back to Fairy Tail after all this is done, and maybe he'll like reunite with like Urza and everybody else. And if that does happen, I can see somebody like Midnight or Cobra being the leader. I'm kind of 50-50 on that because one, Midnight, we know that he was the ace when it came to the Racing Saiyans, but Cobra, he seems like he's like the most important character out of everybody in the Crime Sorcerers. So I'm kind of like, if Jalal does leave, I can see either one of those two picking up the role as a guild master if Jalal does leave. But if he doesn't, Jalal will definitely be the guild master. And then for Mermaid Heel, I'm gonna say it has to be Kagura. This is simply because Mermaid Heel, this is the guild that was full of all those females. We know that they were all fighting in the Grand Magic Games, and I'm not gonna lie, they didn't look too bad for a guild full of females. And I'm not saying that females are weak or anything, but that was really one of the first times in Fairy Tail that we seen like females be that dominant. And Kagura, who is basically on par with Urza, and when I say on par, I don't mean like they're equal in strength, but she can give Urza a run for her money. Let's just say that. I still do think that Urza would always win the fight, but I do think that Kagura could give her a run for her money. And it's just simply, it's easy to pick Kagura as the guild master because one, she's the most important character from Mermaid Heel, and not to mention the fact that she has a lot more character development than all the other females in Mermaid Heel. So Kagura, I have her being the guild master of Mermaid Heel, but the only thing that I could see holding her back a tiny bit is her personality, because like she's kind of like the quiet type character, you know, she's really low-key and everything. So I do think that as a guild leader, you need to be like outgoing, you need to be like, you know, you have to be out there, you have to be like the leader, you have to have the demeanor and everything. So that's like the only little thing that I see about her, but I do think that in the end she'll still become the guild leader. And then we move on to Quattro Puppy. And Quattro Puppy, I'm not gonna lie, this guild barely made the list. It barely made the list for the most important guilds because during the Grand Magic Games, they really didn't have anybody. Let's be honest here. Like, they were just sitting in the pool chilling. Like, I don't think that I really remember too much from them. It was just during that OVA where they're in the pool with Kana and everything. But no, on a serious note, their guild leader, I think, is going to be Bacchus. And the reason why I say Bacchus is because, number one, he's the most important character from that guild. But number two, again, he was getting hyped up to be somebody that was going to rival Urza. Now we know how that turned out. Elfman ended up beating him, and we know that Elfman, he's nowhere near Urza's level. So maybe they were just gassing up Bacchus way too much, or maybe it was just something else that happened. But Bacchus, we know that he basically, me personally, I think that he's already like the guild leader, even though he's not technically it, but he was, you saw him during the Grand Magic Games, he was telling everybody else what to do, saying wild and all that other stuff. So yeah, I definitely do think that Bacchus, he does have the qualities to be the guild master. Who knows, maybe he'll take Kana under his wing, and he could become she could become his wife. But no, on a serious note, yeah, I do think that Bacchus, he will be the guild leader for Quattro Puppy. And then we move on to Blue Pegasus. And Blue Pegasus, this guild is very tricky because there's been so many things going on to this guild. Like, for example, they were introduced way back early on during the whole Racing Saiyans arc and everything. And me personally, their current guildmaster, he's still around. It's not like that he's like dead or anything, but I do gotta say that I do think that he will end up passing it down to Ichiya. And this one, it's kind of funny because the guildmaster for Quattro Puppy, I'm 99% sure that guy's gay. So I'm pretty sure that Ichiya and the guildmaster, they're like polar opposites. So I think it's kind of funny to see him pass it down, because you know, like Ichiya, he's like obsessed with women, and then the guildmaster on the other hand, I'm pretty sure he's gay. So it's going to be interesting to see the whole interaction between that. But no, I do think that Ichiya, he does have what it takes to lead those type of people into the guild, like as a guild leader, because we saw during the Racing Saiyans, he was the one who really stepped up and he was telling Blue Pegasus how to operate during that whole thing. So yeah, I do think that Ichiya, he's definitely going to be the guild master for Blue Pegasus. Now for Lamaya's scale, this guild is basically the guild that Leon and Jura and all of them ended up joining, but I gotta say that this one goes to Leon. Now I know some people, they might be thinking, okay, why not Jura? Well, we know that Jura, he's no longer even a part of that guild anymore. He went back to being one of the 4 wizard counselor, the 4 wizard saints. So now that Jura's gone, I definitely do think that the next person in line is Leon. And I think it only makes sense because Leon, like I said, he's going to be, or I didn't say this already, but Leon, he's going to be somebody that I see as Gray's rival, but not on the same level, in terms of power, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I gotta say that Leon, he's gonna be the person that basically takes over Lamaya Scale once it's done, and that's only because Drew isn't here. If Drew was there, I would have given the vote to him, but you know, since he's gone, I gotta say that it's gonna be Leon. Now for Sabretooth, this one, it's kind of already like determined who's the guild master right now, and I don't think that this person will end up losing it, and this is Sting. And one of the main reasons why I think that Sting is the guild master over somebody like Rogue, who are shown to be way more level-headed, way more cool, like cool, not cool as in like he's cooler than him, but like, you know, calm, cool, and collected, is because Sting, he's supposed to be like Natsu, if you know what I'm saying. And me personally, I don't believe that Natsu will be the new guildmaster. I don't think it's going to be the new guildmaster for Fairy Tail, but by having somebody that's so similar to him, for example, Sting become a guildmaster, I think that's a way of showing what Fairy Tail would be like if Natsu was the guildmaster, but they're doing it through Sting. Because let's be honest, Sabretooth, they're pretty much like Fairy Tail. Like they're like a downgraded Fairy Tail. Like, you know, when you go to Dollar General, you see those downgraded snacks, like you see like the sugar coated flakes that's supposed to be like the Frosted Flakes or something. Yeah, that's what Sabretooth is to Fairy Tail. And we already know Rogue, he's basically the Gagio of the whole guild, you know, Minerva, all that. So yeah, I do think that Sting, he will stay as the guildmaster, because it's going to be a way of showing, like, I think it's going to be kind of parallel to Natsu if he was to become guildmaster. Now, last but not least, Fairy Tail. Now, Fairy Tail, this one's going to be a little bit tricky. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything that happened recently when it comes to the whole guildmaster situation in Fairy Tail, but there's really 2 people that I see that could become guildmaster. Number 1 is Urza, and Urza, let's be honest, she's been showing the quality and the traits of a leader way back when. Like, she's been showing that she can basically run shit around Fairy Tail. Let's be honest here, she's been showing that she's not somebody to play with. So with that being said, I do think that Urza, she has a high chance of becoming a guildmaster, and I think that it would be dope if she did become one, because she's been that leader, like the big sister leadership type character. She's been through so much with everybody, like through not just with the main cast of Fairy Tail, but just like with everybody in the guild in general. So yeah, I do think that Urza, she definitely is one of the front runners for becoming the guildmaster for Fairy Tail. Now, on the other hand, I have somebody else who I think should become guildmaster, and that is Laxus. And the reason why I say Laxus is, number 1, his family alone, they have a deep history within the guild. We know that Laxus's grandfather, Makarov's dad, Yuri, he was basically one of the founding fathers of Fairy Tail, and he ended up helping out Mavis and everybody else. So we know that Yuri, he had a huge role in creating Fairy Tail, starting with it and actually starting out with the original 4 people. And then we know Makarov, he ended up actually becoming the guildmaster, Yuri's son. And Makarov, he's basically been running Fairy Tail for a long time. I mean, he's been running it pretty much ever since Natsu and them were kids. So Makarov, he's been a stable guildmaster for a while, and I do think it'll be cool if the grandson, or the son, well, technically the grandson of Yuri and the son of, no, the grandson of Makarov and the great grandson of Yuri, if Laxus did become the guildmaster, because it'll just be like the family tradition, if you know what I'm saying. Like, Laxus, I think it'll be dope, and not to mention the fact he has grown so much as a character. Like, just from the start of the series, showing he was saying shit like, oh, I don't give a fuck about the guild, I don't care about it. But then we see him start maturing after the whole Laxus or the I don't know what the arc is called, but you know, Laxus versus Fairy Tail. After that arc, we seen him start maturing, we seen him start caring for the guild. He had an epic moment when he actually saved basically the main cast of Fairy Tail versus Hades. And even moments recently in the manga, he's been going in and showing that he will put his life on the line for the guild, especially in arcs like Tartaros when he almost died for the guild. So yeah, Laxus, he definitely has what it takes to become the new guild master. But if I had to pick one out of Erza and Laxus, this is gonna be hard to say, but I think that would be better if it did go with Erza, only because she's kind of been in the story, like she's kind of a more main character, and she looks like that she like Erza from the start, she's always been saying how she'll protect the guild. And yeah, while Laxus has gone through that change and he's definitely one of the more dependable people in the guild, Erza's kind of like that person that's always been there saying how she's gonna protect the guild and she won't let anybody harm it no matter what. But leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who do you guys think should be the new guild masters for every single guild that I mentioned? And if there's some guilds that I didn't mention, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Comment what you guys see down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Peace out.